Well, we have Rajesh Chaugule here, and he has an amazing history, I must say. He is a zoologist, and then he was with the banking sector. But that little bug of zoology that he had, his love for environment and nature, continues still today. And Rajesh, it's really nice to catch up with you and know about what was your passion actually. Your love for environment and wildlife conservation.
So it's been quite a long time actually. Maybe it's there in my blood. Maybe it must have come from my family. But wildlife always has been quite a passion for me. So during my childhood, we used to read a lot of books about Jim Corbett, Kenneth Anderson, a lot of Indian scientists, researchers. So that was always a hobby. So that kept me going. Understanding what zoology is, what can be done about the living planet, what can be done about the animals that live here, how to keep a balance between human being and animals, or the environment, or the plants and the trees, everything that the universe that we see. Because unfortunately nothing is in our hands. It just has to happen the way nature wants to happen. But probably it can be just a little bit of catalyst, or we can just put a few things here and there to correct a few things that we have been practicing a few things that may not be so correct. So we intervene. So I myself felt that we should intervene. So that's why I picked up from pharmacy to zoology to banking, back to not just zoology but more of wildlife conservation, meeting people, because problems won't solve till we meet people, till we meet people who are actually the participants of this entire planet, the universe, whom we can bring change. We can educate them, we can make them understand. Everybody understands what nature is. Everybody is dependent on nature. Everybody is dependent on every living creature on this earth, living planet. It's only that we need to correct a few things here and there, and then maybe people realize and stop abusing or stop using or overusing the planet resources. That's what I've always liked, and that's why I am here. So CMS, Vatavaran, and I think Didi and everybody else is putting so much efforts together. So why not me put a few percentage of my effort into coming here and talking or meeting people and understanding what everybody does.
Yes. Rajesh, I think if you go down memory lane, as far as what you have done, in wildlife conservation, you have put in a lot of effort. You have also part of an NGO, I think, that
Yes.
you have your own NGO that is in the south. So can you shed some light on that?
Sure. So it all started, I think, somewhere in 30 years back when I was still young and still college student. So we used to rescue stray animals, stray cats, dogs, or whatever. Used to bring them to homes and do whatever first aid and all that. And then we used to work for sterilization programs. So we had started a small NGO in a college itself in Mumbai, and from there we realized that I think there's a larger thing to be done. So I happened to go to several national parks as a curriculum activity. So I realized that some of the animals there wild could be in distress. We saw some road accidents, we saw some road kills, and here and there. During our times, there used to be a lot of circuses which used to have performing animals. So probably at that time we felt these performing animals are not kept well. So we started working around with the forest departments, with several NGOs, rescuing animals, treating them, putting them back. But there was no rehabilitation program. So I took it on myself. Why not I try to take at least one animal and try to work around that animal, treat it, see if it's possible I can take it back to its environment where it actually belonged to. It may not be possible to rehabilitate a domestic animal, but we tried. So I took one elephant all the way from Mumbai. We picked him up from a circus. We treated him all the way. We drove. More than 48 hours. We drove with him to a jungle in Mysore, near Mysore, in Bandipur, which is very close to my heart. My heart lives there. And then we treated an animal. That elephant was doing quite well, and she was quite happy, with the environment, with her kind of people. Elephants, and the feed and everything. So she got whatever life she was left with. Maybe 7 years, maybe 17 years. She got the feel to be in the nature, to be what she is. And that also gave a certain example to people in Mumbai. So many people in Mumbai that this also is possible. Of course, there were pros and cons for this, so we had to have a lot of permissions, veterinarians, the whole machinery was involved. In fact, even Duddi was involved in this. So a lot of machineries were involved, but we did it. And the elephant was quite happily, she lived for 11 years in that forest, and ultimately, finally she had to give up. She had a conflict with a male tusker when he was in Mast. So, that was an experience. That gave us a little more inquisitiveness, if we can do a little more on wildlife. Not just here in my area where I live, maybe I can try some other shores also. So that's how I migrated to Mysore, because that's the center of excellence, that's the center for any wildlife. I mean, of course, whole India is fragmented with wildlife and with forest, and there's so much of biomass, so much of things that can be done, throughout our country, the Sahyadris, the Aravalis, you go to the Himalayas, anywhere else. So we picked up Mysore. We thought we can work around with the elephants. There was this road which passes through Mysore. After Mysore, it goes to Bandipur, and from Bandipur, it goes to Ooty, which is the most popular tourist destination. We thought, we worked out with a couple of my friends, some researchers, governments. We involved them and closed the road from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. for 12 hours in the beginning. This is about 99 to 2002 or 3. And then subsequently, after there was a lot of approval from politicians or other people, they had to close the road from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. So right now that's practice, because we have seen a lot of elephant accidents. We have seen a lot of road kills on that particular stretch. So my focus was there to help as much as possible, educate people, educate the government. So that's what we do as an NGO. My NGO, which is called as a Wildlife Conservation Foundation, is based out of Mysore. We have researchers, we have people like Rajkumar, we have people like Senthil, we have so many other people who work together. Some of us work in corporate, some of us work in government, some of us are individual contributors like consultants. We all put this energy and try to bring the forest departments in Mysore, around Karnataka. Now we are moving towards Uttarakhand. We are seeing wherever if elephant conflict problem is happening, we try to step in and we try to mitigate the problem. There's village problems. We do some village volunteer programs. We put up some solar lamps. We put up some solar panels. We brought corporates. We brought people who produce solar batteries and panels and all. We brought them together. So somehow we are just putting a little more effort in the mitigation, in the type of, like, we don't have to destroy. We don't have to be so much dependent on forests. The type of people, the type of energy that we have in this country is amazing. We can do a lot together. So when we work with villagers, when they are not aware of what's happening outside their world, once they hear us, once they see us, once they're provided with the resources, they just let the wildlife alone. So that's the message I want to give. Let the wildlife be alone. Let the forest be alone. Educate people. Unless you don't educate people, we took education from 1st standard to 10th standard, whatever grades we did, but we don't carry it forward. So what I want to say is, like, maybe we can have small programs. The government should come up. They should participate. They should bring in some small programs on every channel, and every channel that you see, or television or radio or anywhere. Bring people together. Let people know this is what is also your responsibility. If I'm buying something, I should know I'm contributing not just to harming the environment, but I'm also contributing to somewhere a small percentage in upgrading, or maybe adding to the environment concerns. Maybe we can stop producing plastic. Maybe we can stop producing so many other things. So industrialization, development are the things that we actually want. We want, our Prime Minister, our people are doing so much in this country. But I think a little more of effort from all of us is required.
Coming to this point about involving the youngsters, I think it's a very important that we have the youngsters, the Gen Next, the children who are in the primary schools, that they have to be inculcated and taught that you have to start young and make sure that how easy has it been for you, maybe you've interacted with children, how easy is it for you to convince them to
so children, actually we were all children. So having children as an audience is a boon, because they carry a message. They are fast learners. Like, unlike us, we are not fast learners. They are fast learners. They pick up, they carry that aura back to their homes. Sometimes we heard a parent complaining to us when we deliver some lectures in schools. that what have you taught to my child? He stopped buying plastics, he stopped buying Lays, he's changed his habits. He's come from burger, he's asking for something at home. Now my work has increased. Any housemaker, she will say, my God, now I have to do so many more work. So that's a good thing. But then I also feel somewhere that with the children, we have to educate the parents also. So I think children are very good catchers. We should keep doing, talking to them, bringing some material to them. They make adults understand what we are doing. I think that's a good thing.
Fantastic.
Yep.
All right. And before we go, Rajesh, I must wish you all the very best in your endeavor, because we need stalwarts like you all. We need a catalyst like you all to make sure that the next generation is educated. This generation also knows that they have to conserve and preserve and safeguard it for the future generations, because it's a very fragile ecosystem, and if it's not taken care properly, then you're gonna mess it around for centuries to come.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. We also want to take this forward. We also want people like you, everybody, to come and participate, project us as much as possible. It's not just me alone, it's the whole community.
Right.
So whole community that's coming up and have now started understanding in past 1 or 2 years. In fact, pandemic has shown us few things that we actually ignored or neglected for so many years. I think we are learning. So I think we are going up the curve now.
Yes. So thank you very much, Rajesh, and all the very best to you. Yes.
My pleasure.
So that's
do visit us at Mysore.
Yes, surely.
Whenever you want, you'll get my details. You just have to Google Wildlife Conservation Foundation. You'll get it.
Fantastic. So that was Rajesh. You will see the passion in his eyes and his body language. It all shows how much he is concerned about the environment, about wildlife, and just about the green thing that is happening around here. So it's been a pleasure here once again. Thank you so much, Rajesh.
Most welcome,
Yes.
and my pleasure.
Yes.